although this is a strange tale, it is actually true. And he records how he heard about it, which was through his great-great-grandfather Solon, who was around 600 BC. So in the chain of events of how Plato heard this tale, he heard it through 4 people, 4 generations of grandfathers and great-grandfathers and great-grandfathers. And he said that he's going to try and write it down to the best of his ability, to his memory, that he can remember. He's going to try and write it down as he heard it. He basically claims that his great-great-grandfather Solon went to Egypt in 600 BC, and he sat down with like the wise old priest sages, the history keepers and the record keepers of Egypt, and they had a discussion, and they told Solon that the Greeks had no idea how old human history really was, and they can only remember one deluge. The Greeks can only remember one like natural catastrophe, because Crete did get like not blown up. There was like a natural disaster in Crete at like 1500 BC, which the Greeks remember. Anyway, the Egyptians were like, yo, history is actually really old. In fact, our records go back, guess how long? 8,000 years. And like Egypt's really old, older than what you think it is. And not only that, was before Egypt was a thing, or before any civilization in the world was a thing that we know of today, there used to be a previous civilization, and they were really advanced, but not in the way that science fiction likes to portray it. Plato says absolutely nothing about there being machines or flying cars or electricity or anything like that. He just says that they were advanced because they were seafaring, and they had a military, and they had a priesthood, and they had religion, and they had maths and astronomy, architecture. Nothing in there is super woo-woo. Nothing in there is anything that human beings haven't proved that they can already work out and do. Like, all they're saying is that it was just happening a long time ago. 9,000 years prior to 600 BC was what the Egyptians were claiming, that this ancient civilization were destroyed in a natural cataclysm that utterly destroyed their empire, and the island which the capital city was on, because the Atlantean Empire was not just one island or one place, it was a whole 10 kingdoms. So I personally believe that Atlantis was kind of all over Spain, the top of Africa, all the islands around the Canary Islands, and any other islands that were in the Atlantic Ocean. That was all Atlantis, like the civilization. But the city, which was Atlantis, is actually the name of the city. And even though that's the Greek name for it, it could have been called Bobtown. We don't know.